Hi Aries, so glad you're here. And this is your reading for love and you, and it's the oracle reading this time. So this is going to be for the couple of weeks beginning from the 6th of May. Let's jump in, and we're going to separate this into 3 different sections. And the first section here is going to be about you, about your individual path. All right. So let's see what these cards have to say for you, what messages they've got for you in that respect. Now we've got the Two of Wands, the Strength card, and the Two of Cups. Let's have a look at the Two of Wands. Now this card here is all about knowing what you want to accomplish, what goals you have, and that could be anything. You know, it's an individual choice about where you take your life. But the energy behind this card is all about doing your research. It's about finding information out, about getting all the minute details together before you actually start, so that you can move forward in the most efficient and effective way. And in doing that, you may have some plans then for when things go wrong. What if scenarios. And the thing with that is that gives you a steady foundation for whatever it is that you're planning to do. And it's also about making the long-term plan, not just about the next few weeks, all of the day-to-day stuff. It's about what you're going to do in 6 months. What about the next year? What about the next 5 years? And it's about knowing where you're going, having it all planned out in minute details. It's about being adventurous, trying new paths even. And the thing is that because all of these things have been put in place, that you really do have a strong core, a strong foundation there. So that if things don't quite go your way, maybe you have things coming at you from different angles at the same time. Maybe something came at you that you didn't even think about. You didn't even see coming. But because you've made all these plans and, very detailed scenarios of what you're going to do if something happens, you've got everything that you need, all of the information to bring together very quickly, because you've done all of the research. It's all there, just at your arm's length. So that whatever comes to knock your plans, whatever sways you maybe from your path that you initially had, it's not going to do much damage because you've planned it all out in the very, very beginning. And let's move on to the Strength card here. Now, this is all about all of the things that are within you that could take over your emotions, your frustrations, impulses. It could be that maybe you can go to extreme behaviours. It could be that, you have a temper. And it could be that you feel very low and don't want to join in. But what the energy of this card is saying to you is that whatever emotion it is, whatever is going on in your thoughts that could bring out the negativity within your plans or your visions for the future, or how you're feeling or how you're coping with what's going on today. This is about understanding that everyone has those feelings. It's also about, realising that this is something that you need to bring together with yourself. All of these, little eccentricities or behaviours or impulses that run through you at certain times. And because you are acknowledging them and are understanding them, and it's time then to not judge yourself. Give yourself a little bit of patience. Because once you know that they're there and you're being kind to yourself and not judging yourself, then you can move forward in a positive way. And that positive way would be to try to bring all of those extreme thoughts, feelings, behaviours into a more balanced perspective. Bring it back to the centre, the core of you, and try to even it out. Try to temper the beasts that you have within you and without you. And let's move on to the Two of Cups here. Now, this card is all about becoming a partnership with someone else. Now, that could entail so many different things. It could be that it's a loving, harmonious relationship. This could be your soulmate. But it could also be, finding a more harmonious relationship with a friend, a family, finding the one thing that you really love. It could be a business relationship. And it's about realising that this is something that you want to join together with and move forward as one unit. And it's about, being balanced in that relationship. It's about being harmonious, being respectful of each other. It's about being supportive of each other's needs as well. And even though, with every relationship, There are moments where you have your tiffs, your arguments, disagreements, maybe even different outlooks in life or how you want to approach things. But because you have this harmonious way and mutual respect of being together, then nothing is going to become insurmountable. And what it means is that whenever you have those moments, that finding a way around them or finding a way to work together even through those differences is something that's going to be easier for you because you have that mutual respect. But the most important part here, and with the strength card beside it, this is also about having that love and respect for yourself. And no matter what you're dealing with internally or whatever harsh things are going through your head or whatever impulses are running through you, treat yourself with the same compassion that you would your friend or your family member or your loved one. Because it's only when you treat yourself with respect and love that you can then begin to put those emotions and feelings out into the world. Now, this reading here is all about you finding out what you want to do, bringing everything you need together, building a solid plan, and harnessing all of your negative emotions and impulses so that should any unseen for events or something that would set you back on your path is able to be gone through in an even, balanced, controlled way. That there are no extreme behaviours, that there are no irrationalities, because those irrationalities could affect whatever outcomes that you have planned. And it could be that you do plan to do these things with another person. And having that control over your impulses will help you to move forward in a more harmonious way. And the love that you want to show this other person is also one that you can show to yourself, and that will bring a solid base for your way forward. And with all of those things together, you can see through whatever comes your way. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Now, I'll be back in a moment with your love reading. All right, Aries, let's jump back in again, but this time we're going to look at these three cards here with a different focus. Let's look at it from a love point of view. Now, the Two of Wands here. Are you trying to get someone to look at things from your point of view? Are you trying to get someone to do the things that you want? And it could be that, there is a little bit of foot stamping and, stubbornness that's going on. so that you manage to get your own way. And it could be that it's just down to you wanting things done the way that you want them done. And it could be that this is a relationship that you want to be in control. You want to be the one that calls the shots. But there could also be a little bit of insecurity driving that behaviour. Are you calling up your love interest 2 or 3 times a day just to find out where they are, what they're doing, who they're doing it with? And that's all about having a control over someone else's life. But the downside to that behaviour is that at some point the other person is going to get a little bit fed up with that. They may even, begin to become frustrated. And the respect that they have for you in the beginning is going to diminish pretty quickly. Let's move on to the next card here, and we've got the Strength card. Now, is this person calm? Is able to restrain their impulses? Does that maybe come from a place of wisdom because they've been and they've done so much? That they've got a maturity about them now. A confidence. They're able to know their emotions inside and out and know how they'll react to certain situations, and then they can counterbalance their instincts and reactions to that. This person is able to go through their day with a gentle confidence. Now, there's a lot of people out there would find that boring, maybe a little dull in a partner. But does that bring a question though as to what you're maybe looking for in a partner? Are you looking for a relationship that is a more mature relationship? Or are you looking for one that makes you feel a little insecure, a little unsteady? Are you maybe looking to, have a little bit of conflict there? Do you feel that that is the spice that keeps relationships together? There is a possibility that that may give you a glimpse that maybe you're looking for the wrong things in a relationship. Are you maybe running towards the wrong person? Is it maybe someone who, gives you the spice and the excitement? And maybe you feel that little bit of insecurity or conflict within a relationship is what keeps things alive. But is that a relationship that you can see developing long term? Is it one that you're drawn towards so that you get the love, but there's also a little bit of punishment that goes along with it? That you never really have to fully deal with a true loving relationship of someone who wants to care for you. Let's move on to the Two of Cups here. And this is all about the beginnings of something new, about having a connection there. about having an attraction and wanting to spend all of your time together. Of finding out what you like, what things you have in common. And, it could even be that there's a few moments, few nights there where you're not out of bed. And it's all about delving in and exploring. And, that is out of the norm. That is a temporary part of the beginnings of a relationship. Even though it is absolutely amazing, there are moments there when you have to push past that. And that's where this can go in two different ways. Because this initial infatuation and insanity of the beginning of new relationships can only last for so long. And then you have to move forward from that. Now, does that initial fire continue on in a more smouldering way? The embers are glowing there warmly, ready to set fire. So the passion is burning there between both of you, but at a slightly lesser, more mature level. Or it could be that, the embers begin to grow a little bit colder, and maybe you grow apart a little bit. But with this card being in the last position here, there are no guarantees, but it does bode well that this is a relationship that may go into the future. This could be a new romance that may last longer than a few weeks, that the connection may be there to withstand a little bit of time. Now, in looking at these three cards together, there is a possibility that you realise you have found someone who is such a catch, such an amazing person, so grounded that you don't want to lose them, that you are clinging on too tight, that you're wanting to know what they're doing all of the time. You're wanting to control where they go, who they see, because there is insecurity there that this person will go to someone who's more exciting. Is that a possibility of where the insecurity leads to arguments and conflict? Are you trying to create intense emotions here? But the thing is that does a harmonious relationship very slowly develop from that? Does your relationship become more mature, more grounded and even? Does this person's calm behaviour, does their self-restraint take over all of your anxieties and irrational behaviour? Do you begin to push past that amazing couple of weeks where it's all sex and love and, pet names and constantly on the phone? Do you push past that to something that is the beginning of something good? because there's so much to learn from each other. And you both may come from different angles, that there may be the insecurity of one partner and the balanced maturity in another. And when you do come together, that you balance each other out and you can begin to move forward. All right, let's move on to the next section. All right, let's move on to this last card here. And the card that's come forward for you is Sexual Arts. Now, this card here is all about chemistry that is caught between you and this other person. The magnetism between the femininity and the masculinity that just sets fire to the chemistry between you. And this is something that, is explosive, is absolutely amazing. And it's the magnetism that draws you both together. Now, many people believe that, through time, that magnetism diminishes. But the thing is if you work to maintain it through maybe touches or smiles, gestures, and it could be that all of those little parts can maintain and enhance your relationship. And if you give of yourself, show your vulnerability, be honest and open, and continue to give within this relationship, then that sexual magnetism can go on for as long as you pay attention to each other. And you can continually to reinvent how you do things so that it's always fresh. All right, I'll see you later. Bye, Aries.